If this is the last episode, I'm fine with it because I already know how the story ends. And they kind of told you with this episode what's going to happen. That this whole thing with how people are treated is cyclical. So it never ends. So they're telling you, I don't know how many people are paying attention to that, but they're telling you.
This wasn't written with your comfort in mind. Nah. Made my decision, wasn't tough to decide. Nah. Me and my boys, we get it done every time. Gotta earn it, you can't just jump in the line. You'll get rushed to the side. I top my division, I've been building since I started. In the parking lot, I parked it. I came in while picking targets. My career cannot be tarnished. I'm a champion regardless. Celebrate, but this a different kind of lucha party. We are not alike.
What's up, everybody? It's Casanova coming at you with another Cast Reacts. We are looking at the latest episode of Attack on Titan. This is episode 87 of season 4, titled The Dawn of Humanity. We're going to be diving into that and so much more. Before we do all that and before we get into the reaction and then the eventual review of the episode, make sure you like the video, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and ding the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. And if you want to support the content we do, we got Patreon, so head on over to patreon.com/MikhailCasanova, as well as channel memberships here. We also have timestamps, so if you want to skip to either the reaction or if you want to skip to the review, the links to everything, the timestamps are going to be in the video and in the description. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this episode. I'm wondering that too. What the hell did you see in him? Like, honestly, the most annoying thing for me has been the whole relationship with, not even a relationship, her obsession with EREN. I've never understood it other than Stockholm Syndrome and he saved her. Interesting, because it was reported this was supposed to be the last episode, and I highly doubt that, from right now, what we're looking at, I highly doubt that this is the last episode. You guys definitely are a bunch of country bumpkins. Oh God, I cannot stand her. Sorry if I'm bitching about MIKASA. She's so annoying to me. Oh man, I remember this part in the manga with that kid. That's gonna be tragic. That was creepy as hell. God damn. Yo, he was so unnerved. Well, the constant um credits, this seems like this is the final episode. It shouldn't be because there's so much that hasn't happened yet. That compassion or Levi. So are they officially saying Hange is male? Because Hange does not have any gender assigned to them in the manga. They say they, them. Am I the only one that thinks Historia's child is Eren's? It's like the tension in every one of these scenes is just ridiculous. God, like, can he go take a piss or a shit without you losing your mind, Mikasa? God, so I can't stand her. This is I feel like that was a pivotal moment for that was an opportunity for her to say how she really felt, and I feel like she just dropped the ball there. That was like the first time we've seen Eren smile in like seasons. It's ridiculous. There's a reason for that though. But can you imagine what it must feel like for him sitting in the center of like time, like a time current, being able to like see the past, present, and future, and just seeing it like constantly revolve? And can you imagine what it feels like to constantly be told like you're like an island devil or a devil? But you can look at like history of what people have been called, groups of people have been called, and it's ridiculous. Man, this cannot be the last episode. Full-blooded. That was cold. Yo, the way they set that up. Oh, yo. Yo, he couldn't. Yo. The way they animated that though was cold. You know, they completely teased that Historia, that was his and Historia's kid. The way they teased that. Interesting that they're showing that the Titans are swimming. I forget if they showed that in the manga panels. I believe also in the manga, these bullets didn't do anything to the Titans, so this seems a little different. Or I could be wrong. Yo, they got incinerated. God damn. Yeah, if I recall correctly in the manga, the Titans were so big that they could just walk straight through the ocean. Yeah, nothing y'all doing is going to have any effect. Especially with how big Eren's ass was. Jeez. Yeah, there's another episode. See, they baited that. They baited. It says to be continued. Yo, okay. Okay, the way they did that, let look, let me talk to you. Maybe that's the last episode for like part 2, and they're gonna do a part 3. They didn't even bait with like, oh, next, like they just said to be continued. I heard there was like talks that this was going to be like, they were just gonna end it on like a cliffhanger like that, and they weren't going to like adapt the last, few chapters of the manga. As someone who's read the whole manga through and through, the way it ended, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but a lot of us felt it was a bit anticlimactic or a bit of a letdown. Like you had one chapter that was like, following this, that was just like super hype, and then the next chapter after that was, a bit of a letdown. And it's interesting how they're deciding to go about, how they're going about this whole thing. If that's it, if they're gonna leave it on that as a that's the end, go read the manga. That's all I can say. Like, I mean, you can either buy it or you can go and download it or go. I mean, just use Google and go read the manga. I'll leave links to it and also chapter reviews that I've done before. Yeah, it's wild. That's wild. It's interesting how they rearranged a lot of things of how they were showing it, because this was not a panel for panel episode. Now let's talk about the whole Historia thing, right? The Historia part, I have always been under the impression that the baby that Historia has, because she's pregnant at this part in the story, she has a baby after, but I've always been under the impression that EREN and her had a kid, because I feel like, and maybe this is me speculating, like he told Zeke he had 4 years left to live. Now I feel like the conversation he was having with Zeke, he also had that with Historia beforehand. Except I don't think it's centered around MIKASA, because I mean, if you kind of think about it, two women that cared a lot about EREN was Historia and MIKASA. But MIKASA, he, when he asked her, "What am I to you?" he's trying to see, like, do you like me, or do you love me? Because that's going to be a thing further down the road, but it seemed like he's trying to figure out, like, what's real, what's really good. Like, do you really love me? Is there something, what is it about me that draws you to me? I need to know. Like, and maybe that could have been a catalyst to stopping him, right? Because you look at the monologue at the beginning was from MIKASA's point of view. What do I see in him? And how she felt about him. It really felt like she never gave it that much thought, but he asked her, and I felt like that could have been a catalyst for him not continuing with what he was doing. And she blew it. Let's just be honest. But then the other woman, you think about him and Historia, and again, I'm doing, this is headcanon theory. With him talking about, hey, I've got 4 years left to live. You all are going to live on. I'm going to be dead, blah, 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 blah. They want to use you to become the next Titan, have kids, da, 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 da. What, I really think for her, when she was like, what if I became pregnant? I feel like that was, what if I carry on your seed? Right? What if we have a child? Because Historia cares for him. I know they don't really emphasize a lot of that, but there is a closeness between EREN and Historia. There is. That's there. It's just not emphasized as much. But yeah, that's strongly, especially when they layered that over Zeke. His conversation with Zeke about he only had 4 years left to live, and then they shift, and then he's like, what are you going to tell that girl? And then it shifts over to like Historia. I don't know. I do think the child Historia has is, I strongly believe that is, his kid. So there's one last thing I wanted to touch on. I had to record this part because I left it out. Two things. One, yeah, we are getting another season. It's probably going to be about 6 to 7, maybe 8 episodes. On top of that, one thing I really wanted to touch on if you look at Historia, and this is really me going down the rabbit hole, Historia and Ymir, very similar, right? Her whole, what if I get pregnant? Are you guys seeing the similarities between Ymir and King Fritz and EREN and Historia? Am I the only one seeing that? Am I okay? If I'm crazy, let me know. I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's something that it's really interesting because it looks like she loves him. I know I'm going into fan theory and speculation, but come on now. Am I the only one to see that? Let me know. Anyways, great episode. There's a lot of exposition. And truthfully told, if this is the last episode, I'm fine with it because I already know how the story ends. And they kind of told you with this episode what's going to happen. That this whole thing with, you know, how people are treated is cyclical. It's cyclical. So it never ends. So they're telling you, I don't know how many people are paying attention to that, but they're telling you. But beyond that, like I said, great episode. It really felt like it was building towards more. Because if we're really honest, if they were to adapt more episodes of the manga, more chapters, then we're looking at probably another 5 to 6 episodes. So that it's not rushed. Maybe 8 if they want to do the ending justice plus the extended epilogue. Because yes, there's an extended epilogue that is what pissed off a lot of people. Anyway, why don't you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this reaction, make sure you like the video. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support the content we do, you know, we got Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/MikelCastNova or become a channel member today. All that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Yeah. Stay safe, be blessed, be easy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Mahalo for making it to the end of the video, and if you found anything of importance or substance that you gained from watching this, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you sub to the channel and ding the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all the content that you get from my channel, from podcasts, streams, reviews, impressions, reactions, and so much more. If you want to support what we do have channel memberships, we've got Patreon, we've got Subscribe Star, as well as coffee, which I would love to be drinking some coffee right now, which I am. That's some good coffee. But anyway, we got all of that, and we also have merch on Teespring and TeePublic, so make sure you go check that out. And all that being said, I just hope to see you in the next video that I put out. So hey, see you around.